Increasing awareness throughout Papua New Guinea on Bougainville's quest for independence will be the main focus for Francesca Semoso, who's running for Parliament. Ms Semoso was one of the first 3 women to win a reserved seat in Bougainville in the first election for an autonomous Bougainville government in 2005. The former radio personality is being backed by the ruling Pangu Party and Prime Minister James Marape, who says they're backing her because they need more women elected to the National Parliament. Don Wiseman spoke with Ms Semoso and began by asking her why she's thrown her hat in.
I ran in 2012, but not kind of really prepared. I just wanted to have a feel of what it's like to run for the national election. So this time around, it's like I've really put my head right in, and have prepared well for that as well, yes.
And why? It's a long time since you got involved in politics.
Well, I believe, there's a time for everything, meaning it's I've kind of had a quiet time to sit down and have a look at what's happening around. And most importantly, the ratification for Bougainville's independence is a very important issue that needs to be dealt with. It will need leadership. It will need leadership and someone who is kind of very well versed on what it was like, what it's like now, and what it would be like. So it is important that I'm putting my hand up saying, I'm putting my hand up. I'm pretty sure I've got some corporate memory about what Bougainville has been through. And it's important at this time that we have a woman go. We have a woman to go to the National Parliament and actually be able to sensitize and to make our national MPC understand what we've gone through. What we're going through now, the reason why people voted for independence that came out to be the result of 97.7. And personally, for me, I can't just sit back and watch what unfolds in front of us in Bougainville. It's disheartening at the same time. It makes you feel that, hey, I can go and help. We've gone very quiet. We're really quiet about it. And for a person like me, I'm wondering, what are we doing? Why are we so quiet about this? The people have taken the vote, and we can't just let the vote be sitting there and we watch it from afar and say, well, it's there. People have spoken, but what do we do with it now? When it says independence for Bougainville won't happen before 2025 and not later than 2027, the date has been set. Now, we need to massage this. We need to start dialoguing it. We need to start massaging it, So taking that vote was the easiest thing I can say.
I was speaking just last week with Ezekiel Massat, and he told me about the anger there is in the ABG about a decision by the national government, by Mr Marape's government, to change the vote that'll be held on the resolution to an absolute majority instead of a simple majority, which Mr Massat believed had been what was agreed earlier. Where do you stand on that, given that you're closely associated with the Pangu Party, the party of James Marape?
To be honest with you, we work with the person. Like what they say in English, it's better to work with the devil that you know than working with somebody that you don't know. The most important thing is this is the first time that Parliament has actually tabled on the floor of Parliament what their thoughts are. And I believe they've said what they said. Did we hear that correctly? And if that's what we've heard, then where do we go from here? How do we start talking about it? How do we massage what we've heard? For one, I will say, what the hell is that? Why is it going that way? Now that we've heard what has been said, how do we, as Bougainville, how do we, as the government of ABG, deal with that? And yes, I am getting endorsed by Pangu Party. And this is the government of the day. Who else can endorse me? For me, it is okay that I'm endorsed by this party. Then I can go and say, well, thank you for endorsing me as a candidate. The issue of Bougainville is there. It is there. We need to deal with what people of Bougainville want to hear about the 97.7 and about their future. They want to hear this. Now, we should not shy away from discussing Bougainville's future. The date has been set, not before 2025 and not later than 2027. I am for Bougainville.
We know that there have been MPs in the PNG Parliament who have a very negative view about that, who don't want to lose Bougainville. And if it comes to a vote and it has to be an absolute majority, 2/3 of the Parliament, and it goes against the prevailing desire in Bougainville for independence, how would you feel? What would you do?
Well, to be honest with you, a lot has not been said yet. There's a lot more dialogue that needs to take place right now. even before that vote is taken on the floor of Parliament. There has to be genuine dialogue right now between ABG and the National Parliament. So there has been talk that has taken place. There needs to be more. For those that are currently in the government right now in Papua New Guinea, how many of them would have some idea as to what Bougainville is going through? So two parliaments need to be working together now. ABG Parliament and the National Parliament need to be talking now. So there needs to be more dialogue amongst our parliamentarians. You know, Masad and our team in Bougainville, we need to come here and do workshops with the parliamentarians here. We need to educate them as to what happened, where we've been to where we are, and to where we are going.